President Trump's plan to make Memphis, Tennessee, the next city where the National Guard troops will be deployed. And joining me now to discuss this, Congressman Andy Biggs. He's a member of the House Judiciary Committee as well as the Oversight Committee. He represents the 5th District of the great state of Arizona. Congressman Biggs, welcome back to Washington Watch. Great to see you, my friend.
Good to see you, Jody. Always good to see you, my friend.
Okay, listen, I do want to get into what's happening in Memphis, Tennessee, but before we do that, Andy, listen, I've just got to get your thoughts. Obviously, Charlie Kirk's from your state. I know you knew him. Give me your thoughts and how you're grappling with all of this and those in your district and beyond.
Well, thanks, Jody. Charlie was an icon in the state and nationally in politics, but he's also a spiritual leader, and I also think he was a cultural leader, and so he had a tremendous amount of influence, and people around the country, not just around the country, but around the world. You've seen the rallies and vigils in London or South Korea or Tokyo or Spain and other places in Europe. I mean, this is his reach and his impact was huge, totally huge. And so, sorry about that, Jody. But the reality of the matter is, we miss Charlie, and we will miss Charlie. But I think the recommitment of so many people, both to Christ, because Charlie was a great missionary for Christ, but also to the culture wars and the political wars. People have recommitted to actually, I think, make his message and his movement grow even stronger. And so I'll just give you one quick example. Well, I'll give you two examples. So last night at the Kennedy Center, it holds, I think, 2,450 or 2,500, something like that. And then at one point, they told me there were more than 4,000 people waiting outside to try to get in to that vigil. And then last week when I flew home, my wife and my daughter, my youngest daughter, we went straight over to TPUSA's facility. And we thought there would be nobody there. We were bringing flowers just to put down there. And there was an organic vigil, unorganized vigil of hundreds of people there, just there to remember Charlie, his family, remember the message that he brought forward. So there's a lot to say, but let me just say that we're all grieving at this point. Let's hope the season of our grief is short, but the season of our activity and the movement is far longer and stronger.
Yep, well said. It is absolutely stunning to see what's happening, not only here in our own nation, but around the world, the impact. And it was just a call to courage and for others to step up. But I thank you for taking time to share a little bit about him and your experience and what you're going through. If I can, Congressman Biggs, turn back to the president's plan to deploy some National Guard troops to Memphis, Tennessee. It's kind of, I guess, not too surprising, but somewhat surprising that Chicago leaders seem to be kind of patting themselves on the back because their city is not going to be next. Instead, it's going to Memphis. But Memphis has a pretty significant need for this. What do you make of the move going to Memphis now?
Well, I think there's a number of factors there. Number one, Memphis is a city that has high crime rates and needs some help. Number two, that the fact that you have a governor that cares enough about his citizens to actually welcome the federal presence in an emergency situation for a short period of time to try to help bring down the crime, like you saw the effectiveness in Washington, D.C. over the last four weeks or so, it tells me that it's just a different style of leadership, number one. Number two, don't be surprised, Jody, if this becomes the pattern that the White House uses, because they would rather to work cooperatively and collaboratively with a local jurisdiction who really has a serious interest in resolving their crime issues. And so I think that you're going to see more of this going forward. And quite frankly, the people of Chicago, I feel bad for them because they're the ones who are the victims now of the leaders who have failed to care enough and are too proud and arrogant to say, look, we could use some help.
Yeah, good point. I mean, the Illinois governor, Pritzker, he's obviously been pushing back on this from day one, but actually accused President Trump of using those who serve in uniform for political purposes and as political props, I believe. What's your take on that, and what kind of message does that send to the criminals in Chicago?
I think the sad part is it sends a message that we're not going to try to deter you. They've got DAs that don't prosecute. They have police officers that are basically they're kind of afraid to act. Why are they afraid to act? Because they don't get any backup or support from their local government. And the residents who show up at city council meetings and whatnot and decry the crime and decry the leadership, they get ignored. And so I look at it and I say, this is really terrible. This is a terrible situation, and we want to have local control. Always you want local control, but when you have these emergent situations where people's rights and lives are not being protected, then maybe you have a 14th Amendment problem, and the feds need to get involved a little bit more. I hope that's not the case for much longer.
Congressman Andy Biggs of Arizona, thank you so much. I appreciate that, and always great to talk to you.
Thanks, Jody. We'll do it again.